the mainstream media is coping so hard about the Acolyte. I've never seen anything like this. It's absolutely wild. And I actually checked the Rotten Tomatoes audience scores on different things. We're reaching points where, like, if you look at like the Star Wars holiday special, which was like really cringy back in the day, I mean that's got a 21%. This is far lower now. And it's definitely not being review bombed, despite what they say. So I'm gonna help you because I'm gonna get a bunch of woke angry comments on this, and but I'm gonna help you with this because it's not being review bombed. It's okay to admit that this just sucks. Let's get into that in just a moment. My name's John Delarose. I'm a professional science fiction writer, and I would love for you to check out my series, The Orytion War. This is a epic trilogy of space opera. You know, it's more in the vein of Babylon 5 than it is Star Wars, but it still does have some epic space battles and a big war that brews between humanity and an alien race. And I would love for you to check this out. It's available on print, ebook, and audio. I'm going to put that in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel and supporting our efforts. All right. So this is the latest mainstream media cope. Dumb Star Wars fans are accidentally review bombing a 2008 movie called The Acolytes. And that's not review bombing. Those are actual audience people who are part of Star Wars fans. Yeah, a lot of Star Wars fans are dumb. I mean, think about it, guys. If you're still a Star Wars fan at this point in 2024, you know, you can't be the brightest cookie in the bunch because you've had to sit through and like cheer for the Book of Boba Fett. You've had to sit through and cheer for the Obi-Wan train wreck. You've had to sit through and cheer for all the 3 new trilogy movies, which got worse by the movie. And you're still here being a fan. So that's one thing. But you know what? This show is so atrociously bad. It's not even like fun. I get a lot of views off of my Doctor Who reviews. And Doctor Who is a train wreck in a very similar manner. They hired a bunch of diversity hires. They screwed things up. If you just look at the parallels, they're both very much the same. They want to gay up Doctor Who. They want to make this the gayest Star Wars ever. And if you look at this, like, you know, the difference really is that this Star Wars Acolyte is so boring. It's not even fun to kind of laugh at. Like, Doctor Who at least has, like, the weird transgender person singing that you can kind of laugh at. And Doctor Who, like, gay kissing someone that you can be like, oh, my gosh, what a train wreck. Like, this is just, like, really boring, like, terrible science fiction writing. Like, they just failed every single writing class and put out, like, the worst fan fiction of Star Wars ever, while making, like, some weird, like, proclamation about lesbian space witches, like it's supposed to, like, get us excited or something like that. But the entire time, the media is still going crazy over the Acolyte. If you see this, this is their new thing. As we write this, the Acolyte is certified fresh at 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so we need to go to Rotten Tomatoes, the Acolyte. Rotten Tomatoes, the Acolyte right here. And go here. So, yes, the critic rating is at 84%. And here's why. It was at 95% to start. Before the Acolyte came out, these shills in the mainstream media came out and they said, gosh, this is like the best show ever. It's amazing. But if you go to the top critics, the ones that people actually trust, it's sitting at 72%. So it's not really, that widely regarded. It's very different when you get into the paid Disney shills that are, of course, making this an 84% to make it look good. And that's why they have that delineation there. So, but when it started, it was at 95%. It's been steadily dropping. A few days ago, it was 85%. Every episode that comes out, every review that comes out, it's like it's getting harder for them to just admit, to just try to hide the fact that this is just a terrible show all the way around. And that's obviously what's gone on here. So, on top of that, like the all critics or the top critics has been dropping like a rock too. This was sitting at 80% last week also, and so now it's down to 72. The audience score has been dropping by the day. Now, if there was a review bomb going on, and let me pause at this, and so sorry, Wokeites, I'm gonna blow out your review bombing theory real quick. Everybody would come in, they review bomb it before it comes out. It gets a bad score before it comes out. And what happens is they do the media score saying it's review bombed. Well, if there's a ton of Star Wars fans out there that love the show and think it's fantastic and think that there's these evil right-wing trolls who are just a part of the internet that's really not there are actually review bombing things. Well, they come back and then they flood it with positive reviews, right? And so you'd see it slowly start to trickle up as just normal people come in and watch the show and then get this going. I can't believe it's at 16%, my friends. This is wildly low. Ghostbusters 2016 does not reach this low of levels. But this isn't because of the review bomb. This is every single day it's dropping a percentage point or two. When I looked yesterday, it was at 17%. The day before, it was at 18%. As more actual fans watch Star Wars: The Acolyte, they hate it, and they're saying that it's bad. They're not coming back in and stopping the review bombers, and real reviewers are watching the show now. That's not happening. That's not the case here. This is an abject failure for Disney. It's an abject failure for Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland, and their little diverse crew. It is just a awful, awful thing. Now, episode 3 really blew the doors off of this. When they did an entire flashback episode to give the backstory of these little girls who are like, immaculately conceived from lesbian space witches, and that's how they have the Force powers, which is female too now, and I'm very confused. It really just insulted audiences. It destroyed the Star Wars lore in a way that nothing had before. Now, I hear this next episode gets even worse as they start to lecture you on pronouns in episode 4. That's what Chris Gore from Film Threats says. So I actually expect that this is going to get even worse as it goes along. Interesting stuff. Now, look at how they're trying to distract you. The Acolyte's new song takes Star Wars into an R&B. This is the cringiest promotional thing they did ever. So if you saw the episode 3, it's got this stupid song in the background, like the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. And they make some R&B song out of it, which is just really, really cringy. What's with SJWs and making everything into some song and dance routine, by the way? I notice every time these idiot woke people get in charge of these properties, they make it into a song and dance routine. Let's talk about how this happened. The first one to do this was Star Trek. Remember they did the musical episode last year with Strange New Worlds, where they just turned it into a big gay song and dance routine? What the hell was that about? It made no sense. And then they took Doctor Who and did the Maestro episode this year, and they did the weird song and dance routine. Now they're doing this weird R&B singer thing to try to promote this, I guess, because normal promoting just based on the show is not working. Whatever, absolutely crazy. So you see that they're just trying to ignore it in the media right now, and this is not going to go well for them. This is like the stages of grief, right? You've got what's the stages of grief here? Stages of grief. This is exactly what the media is doing. The 5 stages of grief. This is important stuff. Okay, so are they not going to show it on this webpage? Why do I always boomer out these things? Let me grab these off of one of these websites that's actually going to show it. Come on, it's the same website. I'm screwing up my video here. But I want to show what the media is doing. I really do. None of these are just going to show it. Okay, here it is. 5 emotional stages. Denial, right? And so that was the first step. No, it's not doing bad. The critic score is better than ever, right? Then what? Anger. You bigots. Oh, these racists are harassing us, right? Bargaining. We really haven't seen too much yet. But it's kind of getting in there because they're in this ignore phase, which usually I see this in here. There's an ignore phase also where they try to ignore and just pretend like nothing's happening here. Pretty soon they're going to start bargaining, right? And then depression. And then they're going to accept that the Acolyte is actually a failure. So that's what we're going to have here after the media runs out of what they've got. How the Acolyte episode 3 continues the most important theme of The Last Jedi. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, that's terrible. Why photographers should find worth in watching Star Wars: The Acolyte. Okay, that's crazy. Notice they never talk about the content of the show and just it being good whatsoever. It shouldn't include one fan-requested cameo, recap, major Star Wars Easter eggs and story connections. They're pretending like nothing's happening right here, all while complaining about it being review bombed. Well, it's hitting the lowest levels ever. I mean, I can't believe that it's hit lower levels than Ghostbusters 2016, lower than the holiday special. This is just humiliating for Disney, and they can't wash it away because, honestly, the ratings are bad too. People aren't watching it. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out the Stars Entwined right here. Appreciate you guys for being there. We'll be back soon.